Hello everybody and welcome back to the United Stand. Manchester United face Brighton at Old Trafford and this game means everything. I know we say it every single week, but this is the biggest game of the season so far and I think one of the biggest games in Ruben Amorim's career. And you might think, Beth, it's Brighton at Old Trafford. Okay, yeah, Brighton are a good side, Brighton are a good team, they're a good Premier League team, but why is this Ruben Amorim's biggest test yet? And it's because Manchester United have always shown that they are capable of going out and getting a good result against the big six sides. Okay, not winning at Anfield in nearly a decade and then going there playing well and winning a game is fantastic. He's absolutely fantastic. Credit to Harry Maguire, credit to the whole team, Brian Mbeumo, Ruben Amorim for setting up perfectly. However, the only way that we can look at this and take it forward and look at it as if it meant something is if we go on a run now and we get some consistency, because previously, you know, we've gone and won against Manchester City, for example, under Ruben Amorim. We beat them 2-1, really good performance, Ahmad last minute winner, and we thought, this is it, this is Amorim ball, this is the Amorim era beginning. And then, you know, you go against teams that you should be beating, that the name Manchester United should be beating, and you don't get the results you want. I mean, Manchester United can go and beat Chelsea, but then they can go and lose to Brentford. And that's the cycle that we've been in. And I'm not taking anything away from the team for getting that result, because doing it at Anfield is a different kettle of fish. And there's a reason why we've not been able to do it there since 2016. So it's huge credit to Ruben Amorim and the team, but it only counts, it only matters if we now take this forward and use it to be a turning point. Can this be a turning point in Ruben Amorim's managerial tenure at Manchester United? Can we look back at that Liverpool game and say, do you know what? That was where everything begun to click, because it felt like that to me. It did feel like that, but I don't want to fall back into that trap of it's a new start, it's a new beginning, we're going to go on a run now.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, come on.
Come
Woo!
on.
Do you think we'll win?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I love that. Love that.
But
But
that guy can get an haircut.
yeah, get him a haircut. I love it. I love it. Oh, United Strand. Literally, everyone just wants to speak to me about United Strand now, but he's positive. A lot of Manchester United fans are positive, and so they should be, because that was a good result. Like I was saying, the reason I felt like it clicked against Liverpool is because near enough every single player on that football pitch put in a brilliant performance. The only Achilles heel that we had was at left wing back. It's an area we need to address. But even the midfield worked really well together. Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, they both, especially in the first half, had really good performances. Into the second half, okay, yeah, we did lose a little bit of control of the game, but we managed to hang in there and the team came together. So can we set up with that same mentality? Can Bruno Fernandes, the captain of this football club, get into them players and get in the dressing room and say, look, we're playing Liverpool today at Old Trafford. That's what you got to think in your head. This is everything, especially when you look at where the league table is now. If you would have talked about Manchester United, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and especially after that Grimsby game, everything looked so bleak. It really did. And there was genuine conversations about, where is this team going to finish in the Premier League? Are we going to be in the bottom half again? And then conversation could come back up, depending on how Manchester United do in this run up till Christmas. But the fact of the matter is we are 2 points behind Liverpool. We could be in a situation, if we beat Brighton, where we are ahead of Liverpool in the Premier League table, with pressure on them in that game, that 8 p.m. game, away at Brentford, which you know is a tough place to go there and get the win in order to get back ahead of us. Like, could you imagine being in that position? I mean, we are literally a point off Champions League football. We are a point off the top 5. It's early doors. Of course it's early doors, but your mind does start to think, could you imagine if Bruno Fernandes would have scored them 2 penalties? And I'm not blaming Bruno Fernandes. There's only certain players in the world that can put in that pass that he did to Harry Maguire to get that winner, and that's where he comes out as such an important member of this team, not only for his leadership and for his work ethic, but for moments like that. The team should have done more in them games to get the wins, and the Brentford game to me was truly inexcusable. It really was. But if Manchester United can continue with better performances, we have got better players now. Brian Mbeumo, what a brilliant signing he's been. Just really good every single week. Technically good on the ball, makes the right decisions, got a good strike on him. His relationship with Ahmad just keeps getting better and better. Ahmad's recently actually spoken about how they've started to get a better relationship now. The talent's there with Mbeumo, of course it is. He's an incredibly talented player, but they're working on the relationship. When he's at 10, Brian Mbeumo drops into right wing back. If Brian Mbeumo's at 10, he's at right wing back, and they're trying to get that on a basis where it just looks seamless. So, and I think it is getting there. There's a couple of occasions where they take up each other's space, but they are definitely becoming more of a lethal partnership, and you saw that in that first goal against Liverpool. Also, Cunha made his mark as a Manchester United player at Anfield. He really did. He was the definition of what it takes to have a man of the match performance without a goal or assist. Just fantastic. So a better player than what we've had. Benjamin Sesko looks promising. Larmans. Now, this is the guy. This is the guy that I think is making a massive, massive difference for Manchester United. I mean, there's many of them, but having Lamens in goal just gives you a solid base. He's not done anything absolutely spectacular yet. He's not made a worldy save that's got everyone off the seats, but he's done his job. He's made the saves you should be making. He made a crucial save against Alexander Isak, which literally kept us in the game and kept us on course for a good result. And he comes out, he collects crosses, he takes pressure off defences. He's really good in terms of left, right, long, finding that player to frustrate the opposition side. He did it against Sunderland, he did it against Liverpool, and I just think having that solid spine at the beginning really does help the back line, and even off set pieces, we've looked way more comfortable with Lamens in goal because the defence and the team has probably got more confidence in him, and he's made himself a presence already at such a young age. I actually saw everyone was taking the mick out of Mo Salah for that shot he just completely put wide when he was literally right in on goal. But I watched the replay of it on. I've watched the highlights about 50 times, probably more than that. But I watched the replay of it, and Lamens, he's so crucial in that. He comes out nice and big, how you should do as a keeper, and he completely puts Mo Salah off in a situation where Mo Salah literally is right in on goal. So I actually give Lamens a lot of credit for that. So really good keeper, and these are things that get the team positive, not just the fans, the team positive. So going into the game against Brighton, what team do I start? Well, Brighton have had our number so many times, and last time out at Old Trafford against Brighton, I don't want to remind everyone, January 2025, 3-1 loss for Manchester United. 3-1 loss. Minter was fantastic, and you just look back and you think, can Man United get a win against these sort of sides? We did have a bit of a blow from Ruben Amorim in terms of Harry Maguire and Mason Mount, both injury concerns. He said it's not serious, but they have had knocks in the week. Reasons why I think that can be a little bit of a blow to Manchester United. As much as we have got depth, Lenny Yoro was fantastic when he came on against Liverpool and is really, really improved, and you'd be comfortable with him starting. Mazraoui can play that right-sided centre-back role really well. He's fit. And in terms of the front three, Ruben Amorim has a headache already because Mason Mount has been playing his best football in a United shirt, yet Benjamin Sesko has scored 2 goals and looked really good. Cunha has had a man of the match performance, and Brian Mbeumo is our best attacking player. So he has got a headache in that front line. The reason why I think Mount and Maguire is a loss, despite having that squad depth that we do have now after the summer recruitment, is because Brighton are really good off set pieces. Harry Maguire is our best player off set pieces, so you'd want to play him. Mason Mount, despite him not being the most flashy player, him and Cunha was man of the match, was so important in that Liverpool game, and Mason Mount has been so important every time he's played. It's not a coincidence, and I keep saying it, every time Mount plays, United look better. He came off against Liverpool and we lost our control in the game. Okay, yeah, they made substitutions as well, a lot of attacking substitutions, and that can play a part. But him and Cunha, Van Dijk couldn't deal with it. He couldn't deal with it. And he is like the glue. He starts the press. He's so good technically on the ball. He is intelligent. He's always in the right position. I like him a lot. So I think both of them are, and I think in terms of dealing with Brighton's midfield as well, I thought Mount, he drops into the midfield really well and makes it us a lot harder to get through. There's a reason why, have you noticed, when Mason Mount plays, Bruno and Casemiro don't get any stick because the midfield looks a lot more assured because he drops in really well to cover it. He's like having an extra midfielder. When Mason Mount doesn't play, everyone says our midfield's too open and Casemiro and Bruno can't do it together. So that's one to think about as well. So Mason Mount against that Brighton midfield who can be really, really intense. Belabour watch, by the way, everyone. Not had the best start of the season, but he will be here at Old Trafford, so get to see him up close and personal. That's going to be one to watch for me. So they are a bit of blows based on the fact that Mason Mount is wrapping up in cotton wool because his injury record is a concern, and based on the fact that I think Harry Maguire will be fit. I'm going to go with my starting 11 with Lamens in goal, I'm going to go back three of the same back three that was at Anfield. De Ligt, Maguire and Shaw, Luke Shaw. If Maguire isn't fit, I expect Lenny Yoro to come in, and it's honestly harsh for Lenny Yoro not to play because he was so good in that cameo. It was really crucial for us, and he's a really good defender. But you know, you can only play 11, so I think Ruben Amorim will stick with that back three purely for the set piece threat that Brighton do cause. Wing backs, this is interesting. Mazraoui left wing back for me. Dalot was Achilles' heel in the first half. As much as I love his mentality, his aggression, his work ethic, he just was not working at left wing back. He was way better on the right in the second half, but he's got Ahmad there for competition. So left wing back, I'd go with Mazraoui or Dorgu, but I think if Mazraoui's fit, he's the better player, so I'd probably go with him. Dorgu's 20, remember, guys. So much to give, and if he did play, I wouldn't be mad at it, but Mazraoui would be my preference. Two midfield, Casemiro and Bruno, picks themselves, and I think deservedly so after the first half performance against Liverpool. And it's Ruben Amorim's favourite midfield too. Let's be real. As much as I love Kobbie Mainoo, and I'd like Ugarte to excel, it's going to be Casemiro and Bruno. My right wing back has to be Ahmad. His relationship with Mbeumo is just blossoming. My two number 10s would be Cunha and Mbeumo, and my striker would be Sesko. If Mount was fit, I'd play him. And that's so harsh on Sesko because he does look really good and really promising. If Mount was fit, I would play him, but I think Ruben Amorim will protect him. Therefore, it's going to be that front three. And that front three still in itself, I think, you know, when I read it out, I'm like, yeah, that's our front three. Cunha and Mbeumo and Sesko, I like it. So that's the team I would play. Let me know what you would play. Players to watch out for Brighton, Danny Welbeck loves a goal against us, and he's in the Golden Boot race if Erling Haaland wasn't such a robot, so he's one to watch. And of course, Belabor, will he start, won't he start? What will he do at Old Trafford, considering he was so heavily linked to a move for us? I mean, their defence, you know, they've got some standout players there. I think Van Heck's a really good player. Dunk's always turned up for them. So they're a couple of people to watch for Brighton as well. And of course, you know, Matoma, Minter, they've got some really good players, Brighton. So, and a last stat to finish off with, this is something that Ruben Amorim needs to break as well. Ruben Amorim has the same amount of wins against top 6 sides as he does from 6th down to 11th in the Premier League. They are the teams that really do challenge us, that on paper we should be beating, but we haven't been beaten. Can we do it against Brighton? I really hope so, guys. My score prediction, I'm going to go with a scrappy 2-1 win for Manchester United. I know Ben Jacobs on our show was saying he thinks we'll keep a clean sheet, but Brighton can offer a lot. So I'm going to say scrappy 2-1 win. We'll win it in the second half. Cunha is going to get his first Man United goal. I can feel it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Smash a like on the video if you've not already. Stay tuned for Countdown to Kickoff live at 3:30 from the studio. And in the words of Ricky, the last thing to say is, come on, United.